And here's what Paul's saying in chapter 5 and 6 of Galatians. He's saying, now here's how you live. You were called to freedom. You were called to freedom. Oh, how we love the idea of freedom, don't we? But you know and I know that there's something wrong with unrestrained freedom. We hurt others when we live unrestrained in our freedom. We take advantage of others. We suck the life out of others when we live for ourselves. Some of you know you've got somebody right now in your family and they literally suck the life out of you. And there's a good chance that that person in your family that's sucking the life out of you wears one of these things. Some of you are like past baby stage. Let me remind you, it's hell. They're the ones at the table. I don't want that. What do you want? I don't want anything. And they just cry. Now, here's the thing about a baby. A baby does whatever a baby wants. Wants to cry, it cries. It does not care that you are sound asleep, that it's 2 a.m. in the morning, that you have a big meeting at work tomorrow. He has decided that for the next 4.37 hours, he is going to cry his eyes out. Make life miserable for you. Babies are demanding, and here's the thing about a baby. A baby's living in absolute freedom, isn't he? Like just total disregard for everybody else. And how many know that at the dinner table, the person that wears the bib is also the one that has to be the most restrained at the dinner table? Nobody at the table gets these babies, do they? Come on, think about this. These restraints are for babies who have no restraint. I thought about how some of you have teenagers. I want to do what I want. Okay, well, listen, you understand that you can do what you want, but if you do what you want too much, there might come a day where people will stop letting you do what you want. And so this idea of unlimited, unrestrained freedom, I mean, it's just not what God called us to do. There's a lot of people in America that are turning into babies. It's a big fat baby nation. I want to do what I want sexually. I just want to do it. I just want to do it. And it's like, okay, fine, go do it. But you know that you are going to have to pay for it. I want to do what I want financially. I want to do it. It's mine. It's mine. I want to buy whatever I want, when I want, with the credit cards. Fine, go do it. But guess what? You are going to have to pay for that. And if it's not you, then it's going to be somebody else other than you who's going to have to pay for your irresponsibility. Here's the thing that I want to put up on the screen. You can play, but you're going to have to pay for how you play. See, unlimited freedom thinks, I'm going to just pay. I'm just going to play. My life is a playground, and I'm going to do whatever I want. And yeah, sure, fine. And listen, the Supreme Court of the United States and the Senate and the Congress can give you the right to do whatever these things that they're giving you the right to do. But when it's time to pay, you try going back to them to get them to help you and see how it goes. You've got to pay for how you play. We live in this facade that sells itself as freedom, but we often don't see the cost, the emotional toll on our hearts, on our children, on our marriages. You're free to go and look at whatever you want on your computer, but you're gonna have to pay for how you play. You're free to eat however you want. God, stuff yourself with saturated fats and eat tons of red meat and eat all that you can eat. Come on, it's America. But you're gonna have to pay. Some of you, if I had the chance to do it right now, if we had the time, which we don't, I'm not gonna do it, but I could have had you come up here and you could tell us about how you played in your 20s and you're paying in your 40s. How you played in your 30s and you're paying in your 50s. True freedom is not the ability or the right to do whatever the heck you want. True freedom is using my God-given identity and God-given calling to serve others in selfless love. That's what Paul's saying. You're called to freedom, but don't use that freedom to please the flesh. Because what happens is you please the flesh right now, and then the flesh is gonna tie you up in ropes later on. You're called to serve others. I think about how God is free, right? You don't get any freer than God. He could do anything he wants. Total freedom. And yet, how does this God act? He sends his son to a cross. The completely unlimited one limits himself to a human being, and further limits himself to the people of Israel, and further limits himself to a cross. Well, what did they do? They nail him to that cross. The limitless one became totally limited. Why? To serve you.